Alright, welcome back to yet another video. Today, I am going to be doing a short, quick video on my E-Class, my E350 to be exact. This actually is not new by all means. This is actually the 2020 model. There has been a body style change once now after my model. The reason I am doing a video on this one is because, just like me, a lot of people who have this model, the leases are going to be up and the market is going to be flooded with lease returns, which means there's going to be a lot of used one of these on the market. So I just wanted to do a brief overview on how this car is and how it's been for me. First of all, last time I did a video on the C300. This is what's considered the next step up, which is the E-Class, the E350. This vehicle is actually a lot bigger than the C-Class on the inside. Again, like I said in my last video, I am 6'1", and I can sit in here comfortably, while somebody my size can sit in the back still comfortably, if that makes sense. So 4 adults, maybe even 5, can fit in here pretty comfortably and go on a long drive without a problem, without breaking a sweat. The color scheme that you keep seeing up here, that can change. You can change it to whatever color scheme you want. There's, red, blue, green, yellow, all the colors that, whatever, multiple colors that change. My vehicle actually had the Mercedes logo projected on the doors. What else? If you can see from the stance of my vehicle, it is actually slightly lower than other ones that you might see on the street, and that's because instead of the air suspension, I decided to go with the factory lowered option, which was something new that I didn't know that even existed before. But yeah, so mine is actually lowered from the factory. I'm not sure if that just has a sports springs or maybe even AMG springs. I'm not too sure on that exactly, but yeah, I did opt in for the factory lowered option. Very luxurious clock over there. Now, so back to my point of the video. My lease is about to end on this one too, which means I had it for 3 years, a little over 3 years now. And a lot of people ask me, how was the vehicle? Is it worth buying at the end of the lease, or is it worth buying one of these as a CPO? In my case, I have 30,000 miles on this one, maybe a little less than that. I have not had any issues at all with this car, except for minor electrical issues, which were mainly because of this. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this, but it has a touch menu, and I have no actual physical button to change tracks, which all my other vehicles do. So that I don't like. But again, it was covered under warranty, so I don't know exactly how much it would cost to repair that. But mechanically, I had no issues. Just recently, I had my seat memory go out, but again, that was covered under warranty, so that was fixed. While we're on that subject, my vehicle actually had the upgraded audio option, and this was kind of something new for me. But with the upgraded audio option, it came with the front subwoofer, which is underneath the console, and I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, but it's actually really good. The sound quality in this car is really good. I wish I could turn up the radio and show you guys what the sound quality is like, but the minute I do that, YouTube is going to flag this video for copyright, so I learned not to do that anymore. But So yeah, so my particular vehicle has most of the bells and whistles. Aside from the upgraded sound option, I have this option which I love. With this, I can control the passenger side seat too. I can lay it down, bring it back up, lower it. I know you might think, well, what's the point of that? But it actually comes in handy, like when we go on long drives. Like if my wife looks tired and if she's gonna fall asleep, I'll lower her seat by pressing this, and I can control her seat. It has the heated seats. As you can see from my dash, there's very what's the word? There's a lot of different ways that you can design your dash on this vehicle, because you know, everything's digital now with the LED display. But this is how I like to drive my car, with the tach and speed in the middle, my tire pressure on the left side, and Navi on the right. I mean, you could do a full screen Navi obviously, but you know, as you can see from this video and my other video and other videos to come out, I like to, you know, watch music videos or movies while driving. But so the big question, I guess what people want to know is, again, back to the whole mechanical thing. I have had zero issues with this car mechanically. Suspension is still great. Engine is still running great. I mean, I didn't have any... I thought I might have manifold issues, like my old CLK had manifold issues. But no, I have zero mechanical issues with this car. And as funny as it may sound, this car, the C300 that I reviewed in the previous video, or we also have a GLA, which I'll probably do next, either that or my BMW 640. But so this car, the C300 GLA, all have a similar 2.0 turbo engine. The transmissions are slightly different on the three, but it's so crazy how all three of them have completely different personalities. They all act different, they accelerate different, they shift different. This car is actually what's considered probably a base engine. It has all of the bells and whistles for this year E-Class that I know of, except for the I know you can get a seat massage option on this, which we didn't get. But engine wise, this is the base E350 engine. I didn't get 4MATIC on this one, and of course it's not an AMG, so it doesn't have the, you know, the bigger race tuned engines either. But the way this car drives, I mean, I can say that even though it has only 260 horsepower like the other Mercedes out there, it can keep up with the rest of the cars in its class for sure. Again, handling, suspension, especially if you put it into sport mode, the car it actually growls and acts like a beast. Again, it doesn't have the kick like the older. I know that you're gonna hear me say this a lot, especially when it comes to European cars, but it doesn't have the kick like it did in, like, the first E-Class that I had was a 01, I think, or a 02 E-Class, which was, you know, inline 6-speed or 7-speed transmission. And they actually, in all reality, my 2.0 turbo 9-speed transmission E-Class is probably faster overall compared to the older models, but it doesn't have the kick that the older bigger engines had. But let's see if there's anything else that I want to add to this video. So aside from the bells and whistles, the comfort level of this vehicle, how roomy it is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as big or as luxurious as an S-Class, but it is a huge step up from the C-Class, if that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, I guess now I will go out on the road and you can get a little glimpse of how this car sounds and drives on the road. Oh, one more thing. This got me kind of spoiled, but it has the bird's eye view. I still don't really, I mean, I do understand how it works, but I don't understand how they made it so well. The bird's eye view, after using this for a while, I've been struggling to park without it. Now I know that's funny, but because we didn't even have cameras back in the day. Oh, that actually brings me to another point. This car actually has the self-parking feature. I tried it once, I will never use it again. It was just way too scary for me. Again, like I always say, I do want to get with the times, but the car backing up into a spot, it was just way too much for me. I tried it once, I will not try it again. I can still park on my own. I don't need the car to park itself, if that makes sense. But so yeah, as I was saying, this car, the C300 that we reviewed in the previous video, our GLA, I mean, all these modern cars with the 2.0 liter turbo engines, which is like the standard now, and especially on European cars, it's so crazy how they all act and they have different personalities, especially if you compare this one to my other vehicles. Even though it's the same size engine and similar transmission, when you accelerate, there's a lot of depth in this vehicle, in the E350, which it's very similar but not quite the same as the older E-classes, like again with the bigger engines, but there's still depth. I don't know if it's because like the mid to upper Mercedes, they start in second gear, they don't start in first, unless you have it in sport mode. But whereas, you know, like the lower end, like CLA, GLA, some C classes I've seen, they start in first gear, so it has kind of a lighter feel. Whereas the E classes, S classes especially, they all start in second gear when you're in the regular standard comfort mode. So there's this depth to these Mercedes and the way they accelerate. I guess not only when you accelerate, even when you're on the freeway, there's a depth to the way the cars accelerate. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. I don't know a better way to put it. But you might, again, I'm not sure if this video is picking up all the noise, but you might hear a little bit of road noise, but that's just if you've ever had Pirellis before, this car has Pirellis on it. Pirellis take a while to warm up, and they do have a little bit of road noise. And then on top of that, like I mentioned, this car was lowered from the factory, so there is slight, not really road noise, whereas you hear wind and others, you know, noises. It's more of a tire noise, I guess you can say, which I don't mind because, again, this car and my BMW, they both have Pirellis, and Pirellis, they do that. It takes a while for them to warm up and the noise to go away. And then, of course, suspension plays a big role in that too. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, I'm just cruising right now down St. Rose Parkway, and we're in Vegas right now. And this car definitely, like I said, can keep up with the rest of the cars in its class. I've never, even though, again, it has only 255, 260 horsepower, I think torque is, you know, 275 or 280, somewhere in that range. Compared to my other Mercedes that I have, I've never felt like the car lacks power, if that makes sense. It's very fine-tuned. Like this is one of the vehicles where if I want to go slow, I can. And like when I'm on the freeway, if I want to blast on the freeway, I can. I've never felt like, oh, I need more power. Because again, I don't know if it's just the engineering and the way it's tuned. Like my GLA, it has a lot of kick off the line, especially since it's a 4MATIC. But there are times when I feel like it could use more power and more speed. Vice versa, my BMW 6 Series, There's a lot of juice on that car, but you can't really drive it conservatively, if that makes sense. It's a gas guzzler, if that makes sense. Whereas this car, when I want to go fast, I can, and at the same time, when I want to just cruise, I'll get a good 34 miles to the gallon, which is not easy to find in this caliber of vehicle, this size, this weight, this performance. Yeah, that's not easy to do. So all in all, I am very satisfied with this vehicle. Again, luckily up to now, I have not had a single mechanical issue with this car, again, which was surprising because Mercedes, based on my past experience, I've had, fuel pumps go out, I've had manifolds cracked, but yeah, this particular one, zero issues so far, and you can tell there's years and years and years left to this vehicle of life. So if you are interested in getting this body style E-Class, I say go for it. However, with any European car, I do recommend getting an extended warranty. As well kept as these vehicles can be, and as well maintained as they can be, one little thing goes wrong and a couple thousand easily on any European car can go out of your pocket. So yeah, again, that's my conclusion with these cars. If you see them coming out a lot in the used car market, by all means, of course, test drive it, make sure the vehicle was well taken care of. But I think these are very reliable, very comfortable, very performance tuned vehicles. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you're thinking about buying one of these, go for it. But still, to be safe, unless you know how to work on these vehicles yourself, even when it comes to major issues, get an extended warranty. Though they don't cost too much for these cars at the moment, from what I know. But yeah, I think it's a very reliable and awesome car to own, especially if you've never had one before. I think you will love it. So that's all I have for you guys today with my E-Class. Next up, I'll either do another short video on my GLA, which is not a complete SUV. It's a smaller, compact, crossover type SUV, I guess you can say. It's gonna be either that or my BMW 640. But yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Until next time,